Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Great Nature deck profile. So, you guys asked for this, and I know I said I was going to post a new Atama deck, but yeah, I haven't been having much luck playtesting with that deck because most of the draws that I did have with them were pretty bad. So, I'm still tweaking that out, and yeah, but with this Great Nature deck, I'm pretty confident with it, and it's won me quite a lot of games with the little time I have to play. So yeah, let's start off with the deck profile. Right, so first of all, we run the good old Blackboard Ohm, I think his name is. Put this card in Soul and then give one of your Great Nature cards the following effect. When this card is retired during the end phase, you may draw a card. So this card's a break even. Yeah, he's a pretty decent card. This deck helps you draw a lot, and so yeah, this card just adds on to that. I guess. Sorry, it's kind of oops. Right. So just put that over there. Let me Saka's face. Alright, so for grade 3s, I run 3. 3 Chat Noir. Honorary Scholar, I think his name is. Chat Noir. The reason I run 3 is because in this deck I want to run Polaris and not just Leopold. So, and I don't want to just run one Polaris because Polaris is my homie. So you gotta run at least 2 Polaris, right? So I run 2 of that, and therefore I either have to run 2 Leopolds or cut down a Chat Noir, and I decided to cut down a Chat Noir because running 2 Leopolds I don't draw into it enough when I wanted to. So yeah, and three Chat Noirs, it's quite decent. I think it's a pretty good number. I'll explain a bit more why I have this ratio later. But yeah, for those who don't know who Chat Noirs effect, it's when a Great Nature unit rides on top of this unit, that unit gets plus 1,000 power, and then the following effect. When a rearguard Great Nature unit attacks, give another unit plus 4,000 power, and at the end of the turn, draw a card and retire that unit. So basically, with Polaris, you'll be attacking 3 times. So you'll be drawing at least 3 cards. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So you'll be drawing at least 3 cards, and it's pretty good stuff. A lot of people like to Breakride over Breakride, but I find that it's a little risky because I always end up with like very little cards in my deck late game, and for the players that know how to stall properly, they can deck you out, so be careful. But yeah, Polaris is, Chat Noir is a good card. That 4,000 power and letting you draw cards and stuff. Your opponent can't really stop you from drawing cards with this Breakride, so it's pretty good. Next, we run 4 Leopold Reverse. Leopold Reverse is a pretty interesting card. Oops. Right, so he is the reverse unit of the deck, and his effect is lock one of your Great Nature rear guards, and 2 of your units get plus 4,000 power, and the following effects. This unit will be retired at the end of the turn, and at the end of the turn, when this card is called sent to the drop zone from the rearguard circle, you may call it to the rearguard circle. So basically, you can do a couple of things with This card you can either lock 2 units and give your 2 rear guards 8k, so that they'll be hitting for pretty big numbers, or you can pump one so that one side is really big, but I usually don't do that because that's kind of risky. But yeah, pumping the 2 sides is the usual play, because there's another card in this deck that can help you pump up your units. Second effect is if the the non-reverse Leopold is in Soul, this card gets +1 power, but I don't run that Leopold in this deck, which is actually an interesting tech choice. You can run it if you want, but some people actually run those over my Polaris, which I actually really like, because him and the Breakride combo really nicely together, while as Leopold Reverse is kind of a standalone card. I mean, it's really good with a Breakride too, but you don't need to get the Breakride off in order for him to be really good. Kind of like, it's the same reason why I run 3 Ethics Busters Extreme and 2 Deadliest Ethic Busters. But yeah, some people don't get why I do that, but I always like to have a plan B, and Polaris is that plan B. Polaris' effect is Counterblast 2. When this card declares an attack, you may stand up your rear guard, and that unit gets +4,000 power, and at the end of the turn, that unit will get retired. So you can stand a rear guard. It's pretty good. Usually that last attack is usually your strongest attack. It can easily hit over 20k, and if you're good, 30-something k, which your opponent will usually save their perfect guard for. So yeah. For grade 2s, wow, it's so blurry. Alright, so for grade 2, I run 3 Compass Lions. I mainly run him because he is a 11k base. So yeah, he's a decent attacker with Polaris, and usually when he gets pumped twice, he'll be 19k by himself, which is nice. You can try running Hamskay, but I don't run it because I have really bad luck and I always draw into the Hamskays instead of retiring and searching for one. So I prefer not to do that, and I prefer to have that extra attack power. Although Hamskay, the grade 2 Hamskay will usually be 16k by himself after you pump it twice, so not much of a problem there. But after you pump it the 3rd time, that's when it makes the difference, because he'll be 23 and Hamskay will only be 20. So yeah, and by 3rd time, pumping 3rd time, I mean either by using Binocular Tiger, which when this card attacks, you can give a rear guard +4k and then retire that unit at the end of turn. By the way, Compass Line's effect is at the end phase you have to retire a unit, so yeah. You can target Stamp Otter and nothing will happen, or you can target himself and he will just kill himself. So yeah. Next, I run 4 Geographic Pandas, because yeah, he's 10k, he's nice to ride into. He is actually quite nice to ride into too, but when you don't have something to retire, that's when he's not that nice to ride into. But if you have like a Stamp Otter or something, you can just call it and then just ride. You can just ride this and then call Stamp Otter, and you'll have an 11k base turn 2. Next, grade 1s, I run 3 Tank Mouse. This is a really key card in the deck. He works extremely well with Leopold Reverse, because basically what you do is you just call 2 to your rearguard circles, and then what you do is lock you rest it, give this rearguard +4,000 power, and then lock it, so you give 2 more rearguards 4,000 power. That's 8,000 power already. 8,000 on this unit and 4,000 on this unit, and then you rest this and give this unit 4,000, so they'll both get pumped 4,000, and then you just lock it, and then you give both your rear guards 12k, which is friggin' amazing because if you think about it, your Panda will now be 22k. Your Compass Line will be 23k, and well, this is not as amazing as 21k, but it can still hit 11k. It can still hit 11k Vanguards and force them to drop a card. Force them to drop 2 cards at least. So that's really nice. And after that, even if you use this, you can just go attack. So 21, and then this guy will get pumped even more. He'll be 27. So 27, you have to drop at least 2 10k cards, which is friggin' amazing. So yeah, that's why I run Tank Mouse, because Tank Mouse is friggin' amazing. He was pretty bad before this set, but now he's a really good card. So yeah, this card is very good because he pretty much boosted for 4k, even though he's locked, because yeah. But anyway, this deck is probably a kind of a bad matchup against Link Joker, which is why I tech in the Polaris, because Polaris is not horrible against Chaos Breaker, since you don't have to lock your own units. Next, I run 3 Loop-de-Loop Duck Bill. Usually, I run 4 in all Great Nature decks, but in this deck, I find that running 3 is enough. Yeah, 3 is enough because usually you want to call in your Tank Mouse instead. So usually this is just kill fodder for Chaos Breakers. If you're not playing against Link Joker, you can just call him early game and then just kill him off with your. You can just target it with your Breakride, and you can still get a card off him. Next, I run 2 AK boosters. Mainly, you want him behind Chat Noir and Polaris. They're your he's your main booster for that, because with them they hit 21 together, which is nice. Next, I run 2 Stamp Otter. He's kind of like the anti meta card, I guess. Not really, but he's good against Gauntlet Buster decks. And if you lock it with Polaris, not Polaris, freaking Leopold, and your opponent Chaos Breakers it, he'll still stay here. So, yeah. Next, 4 Perfect Guards, pretty self-explanatory. Trigger lineup, I run 4 draws. This card actually pretty clutch. It gives your unit plus 4k, so it can potentially boost another notch in your attack power when you need it, but, you know, yeah. And 8 crits. And finally 4 heals. So yeah, this deck is pretty amazing. It hits amazing numbers, and it helps you draw a lot. So it pretty much has all the potential for a really good deck, which is, you know, the reason why so many players played it for WGP. Of course, it didn't do as well as people hoped in Hong Kong, but I think it did pretty well in the other countries. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck. It's pretty fun. I know there's a lot of other cards that you could have played instead of the cards I played, but I played them for a good reason, and feel free to, you know, build this deck however you want. I know a lot of people run the units that call the other grade after when it's retired, but there's like really no space for me to play it, so I don't play them, and I don't play the Hamskays because, yeah, well, it's too reliant on you not drawing into them for them to be good. Once you do draw into them, they become pretty garbage. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. This is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.